Hello everyone, in today's lecture you will study about the overflow and its two types, that is basically signed and unsigned overflow. The phenomena of the overflow is associated with the fact that the range of the numbers that can be represented in a computer system is limited, and the range is limited because of the limited number of the bits that a computer system can process. So let's say if you are having an 8-bit computer systems, so for 8 bits the range of the unsigned integer is determined as 2 raised to power n then minus 1. So 2 raised to power 8, which is equal to 256, and when you will subtract it 1 from it, you will get 255. So starting from 0, you will have the range of the numbers of unsigned integer from 0 to 255. I have subtracted 1 because we have included 0 while counting or the representing the numbers. So from 0 to 255, any integer can be represented in an 8-bit system. Similarly, if you talk about the signed numbers, then you have to first of all divide the total numbers into half. So we have 256 total numbers. If you will divide it by 2, you will get this is equal to 128. All right, now if you want to include 0, and since 0 is neither positive nor negative, so you will have it consider in the positive range, and that's why you will have from minus 128 to 127. Fine. Similarly, for the 16-bit number system, the range of the signed integer is from minus 3 to 768 to 32767. Okay, so signed and unsigned overflows are basically independent phenomena. When we perform an arithmetic operations in a computer system such as an addition, there are 4 possible outcomes. The first outcome can be there is no overflow. The second case can be there is some signed overflow. The third possible case is unsigned overflow. And the fourth one is both the signed and unsigned overflows may occur. Alright. As an example of unsigned overflow, but not the signed overflow, suppose that one of the registers of a computer system, which is AX, contains the value tetra F hex, and the second register of the microprocessor or a computer simply contains 0001 hex. Fine. And you are performing the addition of these two numbers. If you write down its binary combination, you can simply have tetra ones in place of AX and tetra zeros in place of BX. When you will perform the addition of these two numbers, what will happen? You will get 1 at the place of MSB, and rest of the 16 bits will be 0. You can perform the bitwise addition over here and you will get the same results. Okay, so if we are giving it as an unsigned interpretation, the correct answer is 11100 hex, which is equal to 65536 in decimals. Okay, but this decimal representation is out of range for a 16-bit computer system, since the range of the 16-bit numbers is from 0 to 65535. So this is actually greater number. That's why if we treat it as an unsigned number, then the resultant's value is greater than the given or available number of bits representation. So that's why unsigned overflow has occurred. So in other words, 1 is carried out of the MSB and the answer is actually equal to tetra 0 hex. Fine, which is wrong. Now, so the unsigned overflow has happened. But if you now treat the given numbers as the signed numbers, so we can simply see that tetra f hex is actually equal to -1 in decimal and 0001 hex is actually equal to 1. So when you will add these two numbers plus -1, the resultant should be equal to 0, which is actually correct. So there is no signed overflow occurred as the result is similar to the obtained result in case of the signed interpretation. So this was the example of the unsigned overflow where the resultant was greater than the available limits. Fine. Now let's have an example of the signed but not unsigned overflow. Suppose that both the registers AX and BX contains the similar value. So AX contains 7FF hex and BX also contains the same number 7FFF hex. Fine. So when you will perform the bitwise addition, okay, let's perform the bitwise addition of these two numbers. So 7 is represented in binary as 0111 hex, then F is represented as tetra 1 hex. Same is the case with the tetra hex. So the same numbers are actually being adding, so I am just writing them down as a binary combinations. Fine. When you will perform the bitwise addition, you will get 0 in place of this, then tetra 1 and so on. So you will have 1 1 1 1 1 1 over here and then again 1 1 1 1. Fine. The hex equivalent of this is equal to FFFE hex. Let's have a look now what kind of the interpretation we can get from this result. The signed and the unsigned interpretation of 7F FF hex is actually equal to 32767. So 7 tetra F hex is actually equal to 32767. Thus for both signed and unsigned additions, the resultant is 32767, 32767. You will get 65534. Fine. This is out of range of the signed numbers, as the signed interpretation of the stored answer is -2. Why? Because F is equal to -1, and if you will subtract 1 from it, you will get FE, which is equal to -2. And similarly, if you will go back, you like if you have FFFD, you will have -3. So the signed overflow occurred in this case. However, the unsigned interpretation of tetra FFFE is 65534, which is the right answer. So there is no signed overflow occurred, but so there is no unsigned overflow occurred, but there is the signed overflow. Okay. So how the processor indicates the overflow? The processor sets the overflow flag in the computer system equals to 1 for the unsigned overflow. It is up to the program to take the appropriate action, and if nothing is done immediately, the result of a subsequent instruction may cause the overflow flag to be turned off. Alright. Now let's answer the question how the processor determines the overflow occurred. Many instructions can cause overflow. For the simplicity, we will limit the discussion to the addition and subtraction merely. In case of the unsigned overflow, on addition, unsigned overflow occurs when there is a carry out of the MSB. This means that the correct answer is larger than the biggest unsigned number, that is tetraf hex for a 16-bit computer system or FF hex for a byte-sized data. On subtraction, unsigned overflow occurs when there is a borrow into the MSB. This means that the correct answer is smaller than 0. In case of the signed overflow, on addition of the numbers with the same sign, signed overflow occurs when the sum has a different sign. This happens in the previous example where we were adding 7 triple F hex, and we just noticed that when we were adding two positive numbers we got a negative number. So that's why there was a signed overflow. Subtraction of the numbers with the different signs is like adding the numbers of the same sign. So for example, a minus minus of b is actually equal to a plus b. Similarly, minus a minus plus b is actually equal to minus a minus b, which is again the addition. Signed overflow occurs if the result has a different sign than the expected. Okay. In addition of the numbers with the different signs, overflow is impossible because the resultant will always be less than the given numbers. Since a plus minus b is actually equal to a minus b, so the resultant will always be less than their values. Either it will be less than a or less than b, and because a and b are small enough to fit in the destination, so a minus b. Okay, for exactly the same reason, subtraction of the numbers with the same sign cannot give the overflow. Actually, the processor uses the different methods. If the carries into and out of the MSB do not match, that is, there is a carry into the MSB but no carry out, or if there is a carry out but no carry in, then the signed overflow occurs. I hope you liked the video.